Tyrese Maxey. That's exactly how the 76ers are still alive right now. I really did think going into this game, it was going to be the end for the 76ers. I think after getting your backs blown out in Philadelphia, right in front of your home crowd, I mean, seriously, there were probably 76 76ers fans in that building. I thought they were going to go back into New York very discouraged and upset. I mean, the 76ers have been through a ton of different things this series, especially Joel Embiid. And I mean, things have just been rough. We all know that. But they've been putting up probably the craziest fight we have seen. And in this game specifically, Tyrese Maxey was the one to carry them over the finish line. I mean, we talk about Joel Embiid going through things. He went into this game with a migraine, which I think he's lying at this point. There's no way someone has been this unlucky and this hurt for an entire series. It's impossible. I really think it was an excuse, so if they lost this game, he had something to fall back on. But turns out they didn't even really need him. Okay, obviously you need Embiid, but Tyrese Maxey was making me sick. I mean, just watch these highlights. This dude is an absolute killer. I mean, this is by far the most ethical 46 points we have seen from a 76ers player in the last 10 years. Shooting 17 for 30 from the field, 7 for 12 from 3, and only shooting 8 free throw attempts. But this performance was more than just a Tyrese Maxey masterclass. It actually taught me a lot about the 76ers team that I didn't really pick up before. One of those being that they don't need to rely on Embiid offensively when the rest of the team actually steps up. It sounds pretty obvious, but I didn't think that the rest of the team was actually able to step up. That's what surprised me in this game. Like, we know that Tyrese Maxey is good, right? He obviously won Most Improved Player of the Year. He's done and had games like this before, but you see other players stepping up. Kelly Oubre Jr., right? You see Tobias Harris that actually had a solid game as well. And when other players like that are dropping 20 points or just having impact baskets, you don't need Embiid out there to give you 40. You don't need that because everyone else is contributing. Now, it obviously wasn't Oubre and Tobias Harris that were carrying the offensive load. It was obviously Maxey, but by far the most random player on this team that has had an impact to me is Cam Payne. I mean, the dude goes out there, probably least unexpected player to ever touch a playoff court. He goes out there and has ice in his veins, no nerves on that floor. He went out there, I don't remember which game it was. I think game 2, maybe 3. I don't know at this point, but he went out there and hit like 2 or 3 threes in a row and was talking shit to the crowd, or was hyping up the crowd, or I once again can't remember what arena it was in, but he was talking very loud. And you kind of watch this and go, what the fuck is it? Like, I thought I was time traveling back to 2021 with the Phoenix Suns. I really thought I was. So seeing someone like that come out onto the court, and even though he wasn't dropping an insane amount of points, like he didn't drop, I don't think, any more than like 12 points, he was a momentum shifter for this team. Very understated things that I enjoy picking up on and reading when it comes to basketball is those little small notes like that. Small players like that could switch the momentum from, you know, the 76ers going down by 10 and instead keeping them up there and kind of motivating the rest of the team to keep on pushing. On the New York Knicks side of things, they really did play a solid game. It came down to a couple things that made them lose the game. One of those being the 3-and-1s that they gave up near the end of the game. One of those and-ones being the Tyrese Maxey 3-point shot. I mean, fucking ridiculous that he even made that shot to begin with. But why are you contesting that so hard? If I'm not mistaken, you're up by 5. I can't remember exactly. Sorry, there's so much to go over in this game. There's overtime, but they were up. You didn't need to contest that shot. Why are you contesting that shot? But there was that and one. There was a Joel Embiid and one, and another one that I'm forgetting right now. But these were things that are almost too good to be true if you're the 76ers. Like, I can't believe that this happened. I mean, it's almost like the most 76ers thing to ever have happened. The officials just start calling and ones for them out of nowhere. And some of these, in my opinion, were debatable. The other thing that made me scratch my head as well was this Tyrese Maxey shot to tie the game, right? We've all seen the clip. We all saw how insane the shot was. It was a crazy shot. I love Tyrese Maxey for hitting this, but why did no one foul? I don't know. Some teams decide to foul, some teams don't foul. But in this situation, why did you not foul? You're up by 3 with, I'm pretty sure, like 20-something seconds left in the game. That does nothing but bring you up by 1 point and have the possession in your hands. I understand that you don't want to call a timeout after that basket, because if you call a timeout after that, there's a chance that they get the steal and a fast break to go score, right? They've done it before. They cherry-picked one of their baskets in OT, I'm pretty sure. So, like, I understand why they didn't call a timeout after that basket, but why didn't you foul makes no sense. But probably the most understated and weirdest thing to think about when it comes to this game is that Jalen Brunson got locked up on the 2 game-winning possession attempts that he had. Both were locked up by Batum.
Fourth quarter yelling, why the fuck Batum is?
He was out there for a good reason, okay? Because he was out there fucking locking up Jalen Brunson. One of these, he was locking him up in the paint. Jalen Brunson didn't get a shot off. It was a weird shot. And then the other one, this like shot attempt that turned into a pass. I mean, it was impressive from Batum that he was able to do that and really shut down these 2 opportunities, because hey, if Jalen Brunson makes that 3 in OT, yeah, you're going home. It was great defense from him. I don't think he'll get enough credit for that, or enough, you know, respect or even mention for, you know, playing that defense. So yeah, overall on this game, I think the Knicks played good basketball. I think the 76ers just did better with their killer instinct. The Knicks did good, but they weren't able to lock in during crunch time and get those crucial shots, and also a ton of brutal mistakes on the defensive end. I know I've already said it a million times in this video, but Tyrese Maxey is one of the most fun players to watch. It's like I have the evil in Joel Embiid and the good in Tyrese Maxey when watching this game, and it just combines into 76ers basketball. Because like I really want to watch Tyrese Maxey, but I just can't stand watching Embiid. Anyways, the obvious question is, can the 76ers keep this up when they go back to Philadelphia? You know the crowd's going to be piping hot and full of loud fans. Of course, New York Knicks fans, not 76ers fans. I really do think that if they push this series to a game 7, it will not only be the most watched series of all time, but also the most electric game 7 we've ever seen. I cannot imagine the New York Knicks fan base storming the streets after winning a game 7 against the 76ers. They booed that man Embiid every time he had the ball. They had a fuck Embiid chant before tip-off. That's how loud and angry the 76ers team was. As for the other games, the Pacers and Bucks game, I hate saying this. I think it's the most corny and lame thing to say, but it was a must-win game for the Pacers. I hate saying that. There are so many damn injuries in the NBA. It's so sad, but Chris Middleton was doing his damn thing. Patrick Beverley had a great couple, minutes out there as well. Malik Beasley was producing some fire out there. I mean, you see him shimmying on the fucking court. He's talking shit towards Tyrese. There was some passion out there on that floor. They did not want to end their playoff run, especially because you have Dame and Giannis possibly coming back soon. And so this might be a game that the Pacers look back on, if they end up getting eliminated in the series and saying, damn, we could have won it there. That was our one shot. Winning that one game was our one shot, because after that, we don't know if Dame and Giannis are going to be back by next game, or maybe a game 7 if they push it that far. Like these are things that can haunt a team for years and can haunt, these players that think, maybe we could have been there. So I think for them to go out and perform the way that they did, it was very disappointing in the Pacers. But the only thing you could do is just go back to Indiana and hope that your home crowd can really fire you up and get you to win that game, because man, that might be a struggle if they get their full team back. As for the Magic and Cavaliers series, I don't think I've ever seen a less promoted NBA playoff series in like the past couple years. It is actually sad. In a sense, I don't really blame them. Okay, I've been someone who has been hyping up this series. I said it's not going to be as boring as everyone makes it out to be. I thought it was actually going to be a very enjoyable series, but then I turned it on and every single game has been a huge blowout, and that's up until this last game that we saw tonight. But even though it was a close game, I couldn't really get my head wrapped around it. I mean, I did watch the end of it. Like, I saw the Evan Mobley highlights and he was doing his thing. I mean, he won them the game. I also love watching Paolo Banchero. I just think it's the rest of this Orlando Magic team that I can't really get behind, because it's not like I only say that about the Orlando Magic. Like, I have no real intent in watching the Cavaliers either. Like, I don't know, maybe there's something about this series that I've just given up on, but I haven't found it to be as enjoyable as expected when going into the playoffs. I am hoping for a game 7. I think that will be really fun. I think that's also something that a lot of the NBA fans can really rally behind, is watching our first game 7 of the playoffs so far. But if that doesn't happen, I mean, if the Cavaliers win their next game, it'll be disappointing, I think, to me, honestly, for the Cavaliers. And I know that sounds ridiculous considering they would have won a playoff series, but you're a team that is top in the East. Donovan Mitchell has been having an excellent year so far. All your players are doing good. Everyone's having a good time. You can't let a insanely young and new Orlando Magic team be the one to push you guys to a game 7 series. I think a lot of people expected better from the Cavaliers, and to see them really be in a shaky situation right now in this series has been very interesting. With that being said, I don't care what happens. This has been a win for the Orlando Magic. They can lose this series, and to me, I look at their franchise and say they are in the running for something big. Paolo Banchero has shown that he can play in the playoffs. That is something that we have learned from this series. So it's really fun to see that. If you're an Orlando Magic fan, I'm still cheering for you guys over there. As for the Cavaliers, hope you guys get this run and can win this series, because if you don't, Donovan Mitchell, you are a New York Knick. That being said, let me know what you guys think about today in the playoffs and overall your opinion on everything. I didn't get to talk about LeBron or the Lakers getting swept, but that was so goddamn sweet. I'm so happy they got swept and didn't win that game, because the last thing I could take right now is seeing Lakers fans cope and say that they could win in 7. That being said, hope you guys all enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe. Like I said before, comment down below your opinions on the playoffs right now. I will see you guys all in the next video. Later.